Alright, welcome back, y'alls. Been like 7 years. So I'm gonna start with just some basic stuff. This one is free Fallin. Hello. There is a detail in the tab that I don't know how to fix currently. The G is like this with these two fingers, okay? So it's gonna sound like this. Okay, so I'm sure there's a million guys who have already done this. I'm doing it because I love the strumming fundamentals of it. The idea of feeling the pulse, being able to divide the pulse, and be able to articulate where you connect with the strings and where you do not connect with the strings. So I've broken this down into stages here. The first little bit, you can get the tabs and the link in the description. The first little bit here, the 2-bar sample, is really just when the chords fall in relation to the beat. And also the intro. Well, actually, the intro is a little varied, but anyways. So D, G, G, D, A. Now what I'm doing is I'm thinking about, for those who are new to chords, is I'm thinking about ways to make these transitions easier, okay? So you have your D chord, you want to be able to strum through and have energy in your wrist, and we'll get to that in a second. Part of that is that confidence comes from being able to control all of the strings, to know all the strings are accounted for. So my thumb comes over the top. I'm not holding the D down like this with space. I have no space in the back side of the neck. So I'm cradled here. I have space on this side as needed, but I don't have any space otherwise. I'm nice and cradled. I'm making a loose fist around all my chords. And sort of a byproduct of that is your thumb can now come and mute the bottom string. So when I strum D, I strum 5. I get the A string, that's part of D anyway. So even though it's not in root position, as they say, it's still a nice solid D chord. Okay, that's gonna add uniformity when we start to talk about the strumming and how to deal with that. So it's D, you swing over and get to G. You don't do this way where you kinda, where's G? Okay, and have them kind of separate. You want to be able to find a way to connect your hands, your fingers, to understand that it's more of a transition between shapes and that the process itself is what matters, okay? So the way that you do that is your ring finger stays put, you add your pinky, and now you have this platform to swing these two fingers over and to grab your G chord. Notice I didn't change the grip on the back side of the neck. It's still very similar. There's little adjustments, but you're still this way, all 3 chords, okay? So D to G. So that's what you can practice on these first 2 lines, first 2 bars on the top system here. Okay, and then you just go backwards. You go G, D, thumb comes over, right? G, D, A. Thumb also comes over, blocks the bottom string on the A chord. Now A is kind of difficult because your fingers are squished up in here. It's just kind of part of the game, you know, it's tricky. I have my capo at the 3rd fret, by the way. You don't need to, but if you want to play in the key of the song, you do. So I would practice that until you feel good about the transitions. D to G, okay? This finger is key, ring finger is key, right? Right back, lift off the pinky, assemble these 2, I'm back at D. Shifting to A, this finger's on the same string. I slide back, stack on top of it, and then I've arrived at A. So this is like a guide finger between these 3 chord moves. That's why I like this so much. D, G, G, D, slide back, arrive at A. So that's your move. When you feel good about the move, then you want to start thinking about how do you actually strum it. So let's think about this. The pulse is here. Da, da, right? Ba, ba, ba. It's kind of slow, but the rhythm, and there's a lot going on. So what's happening is we have a 16th note subdivision of this beat. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a tick it like that. So if my pulse is there, I'm doing this. 1 E and a 2, 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, okay? So that takes a loose wrist. And part of this you can train, let me take off the reverb, by tapping your foot and just trying to keep everything even and just scratch it, right? No chord, no distractions. You're listening for uniformity, the feeling. How does it feel to just pass over the strings evenly? How tight do you hold the pick? How loose can you make your wrist? It's a struggle in the beginning, but that's what you're trying to do, and you're trying to lock in with that 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Always get that downbeat. 2, 3, 4. Now when you get that, then you start to go, all right, when do the chords move? Right there, right? You don't have to play this exactly, but the idea, so much of rhythm is being able to understand that grid context and being able to go, well, when did I hear a thing? What direction was my hand moving in relation to the strings, down or up, when I heard that thing? And that's how you get good at being able to hear rhythm and then translate rhythm. So the pattern is this now. It's you can even do this. Okay, doesn't happen overnight, but that's the goal. I do have all the documentation. The little symbols that look like sort of a blocky staple, those mean strum down. And the sideways alligator carrot pointing towards the ground means strum up. So what I would do is get used to going through slowly and just almost getting used to like, all right, what is down and what is up? What's up? And being able to, beat by beat, start to understand what it's like. Every possible scenario. So, for instance, beat 4, you strum all the downs and all the ups. 4, E, and get used to that. On beat 1, you have a situation where you're strumming 1 E and just that, 1 E and is take the time to try to break this down and figure out, well, I'm always moving here on my 16th note grid. When am I hitting the string? When am I intentionally avoiding the string? And realize that when you don't hit the string, there's just as much value to the sound, the music, as when you hit the string, right? By doing a thing or not doing a thing, the entire context is what makes the music, right? So just try to remember that. So hope this was helpful. Thanks, guys. I'm getting some better recording equipment soon, so it's going to be less on the iPhone. I'll see you soon.